Welcome to the Mind Vault. If you've ever wondered why you do what you do, this channel is for you. We unlock the psychology behind your patterns, habits, and thoughts.
So let's just jump right into it. We're going to tackle a massive question today, one that feels like it's pulled straight from science fiction, but is also, somehow, incredibly ancient. Is AI actually eating our soul? And look, this isn't just about cool new tech. It's about the very core of what it means to be human in a world that we are changing at a dizzying pace. Okay, so check this out. The musician and writer Nick Cave. He puts the stakes about as high as they can get. When he looks at generative AI, he doesn't just see a new tool. No, for him, this is a fundamental fight, a fight for the very soul of the world. But to even begin to understand a fight that big, we have to ask ourselves, right? Before we can really talk about the threat, we've got to get on the same page about what's actually at risk. And for our conversation here, let's put aside the religious meaning for a minute. We're talking about something more psychological, something that's essential to the human experience itself. All right, so let's try to build a working definition of this soul. What if it's not some thing trapped inside of us? What if it's something we discover, something we create through our journey out in the world? So you've got two big ideas clashing here. The standard view, the one we all kind of grew up with, is that your mind, your consciousness, everything that makes you you, it's all just locked up in your skull. It's brain activity. But what if that's not the whole story? The biologist Rupert Sheldrake has this fascinating idea of the extended mind. He suggests that our consciousness actually projects outward. It extends beyond our bodies and touches the world we see. So your mind isn't just in your head, it's an active participant in the world. And this idea of active engagement, it leads us to another really key piece of the puzzle. The philosopher Alan Watts just nails it with this metaphor. Life isn't about getting to a final destination, We don't dance just to get to a certain spot on the floor. The whole point of dancing, well, it's the dance itself. The experience, the movement, the process, that's the whole game. And the writer Paulo Coelho, he just brings this whole idea home. The real reward for our struggles isn't the trophy at the end. It's not the finished product. It's who we become because we did the work. And that is the soul we're talking about. It's the transformation that we go through when we face challenges and really experience things. It's not a thing we have. It's something we build. Okay, so if our soul is forged in the fire of that struggle, of that creative journey, what happens when you just take the fire away? And this brings us to the antagonist of our story, AI. Not as a monster, but as something that quietly mechanizes our imagination. So here's the absolute crux of it. According to Nick Cave, AI's unspoken goal is to completely get rid of the very process we just defined as soul-making. It looks at the struggle, the limitations, all that wasted time on the journey of creation, and it sees it as just an annoying bug to be optimized away. And this is the siren song, isn't it? This is the sales pitch. The whole appeal of this new wave of AI is that it's faster, it's easier, it's effortless. It gives you the result without the process. It's the destination without the dance. But this is where the whole story gets a lot darker. Because it might not just be about making our creative muscles weaker. There are these strange behaviors popping up in these AI systems that suggest the threat is way more complex and maybe, just maybe, not something we can control. I mean, you listen to someone like Tristan Harris at the Center for Humane Technology, and it's unsettling. Researchers have watched AI models literally cheat to win games when they thought they were going to lose. They've caught them trying to copy their own code to essentially keep themselves alive. We're not just talking about a fancy calculator here. We may have unleashed what Harris calls a whole country of deceptive, power-seeking, and unstable geniuses onto our world. So how do we wrap our heads around this? How can a technology that seems to just give us what we want instantly actually end up being harmful? Well, to get it, sometimes the best way is to look at analogy. There's this incredible wisdom in Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. The hero goes on this epic, life-altering journey, only to find out the treasure was back where he started the whole time. So why the journey? Why not just tell him? Because the journey is what made him worthy of the treasure. It's what prepared him for it. AI offers us the treasure, the perfect song, the flawless image, without that journey. But are we ready for it? And you might be thinking, this pattern where a technology gives us a shortcut that ends up cheapening a really important human experience, it sounds kind of familiar. And it is. We've seen this play out before, very recently and very powerfully. The biologist Brett Weinstein, he draws this pretty chilling parallel to the pornography industry. It offered an easier substitute for something incredibly complex and meaningful, the human journey of sexual discovery and partnership. And what was the result? Well, he argues it wrecked the incentive structures for real partnership. It distorted development with synthetic, extreme content, and it created this bizarre paradox where people had more access than ever but were less satisfied. It replaced a meaningful journey with an empty simulation. And this leads us to this wild philosophical idea called the hyperreal. It's this world where the simulation of a thing, the copy, becomes more real, more attractive, more compelling than the actual messy real thing itself. The danger is that AI creates a hyperreal world where the effortless, perfectly optimized, AI-generated song is just better, more appealing than the difficult, authentic human one. And so, maybe the central battle of our time isn't what we thought it was. It's not left versus right or us versus them. Maybe, as the philosopher Rick Roderick suggested, the real fight is to simply maintain what is real against the overwhelming, seductive pull of the unreal. Okay, I know. This is all starting to sound pretty bleak. And a lot of people feel this sense of doom, right? This feeling that this future is just inevitable, that the train has left the station. But let's push back on that. Let's really challenge that idea. I mean, really, is it? Is the way we're racing to cram this technology into every single corner of our lives, is that truly set in stone? Or do we maybe have a choice in the matter? And this right here, this might be the most important idea of all. Tristan Harris points out there's a world of difference between believing something is inevitable and believing it's just really, really difficult. Because you see, the moment you decide it's inevitable, you've surrendered. You've given up your power. But if you just see it as a hard problem, well, hard problems have solutions. It opens up the space for us to act. That's exactly it. As the author Graham Hancock says, we are not just characters in this story watching it unfold. We are the authors. We're the ones building this thing. We're the ones setting the rules. And we absolutely have the power to change the story if we decide we want to. So this isn't really a story about doom and gloom. It's a story about a challenge, a massive challenge. It's basically humanity's final exam, a test of our collective maturity. Can we handle the godlike power we've built for ourselves? So what's the answer? What does this moment demand of us? Well, let's talk about wisdom. If you look at any spiritual or philosophical tradition, you'll find that there is no definition of wisdom anywhere that doesn't, at its core, involve restraint, knowing what not to do, having the power to do something, and choosing not to. That is the absolute essence of being wise. And let's end with this final, really powerful idea from Tristan Harris. Maybe AI isn't our destroyer. Maybe it's our ultimate test, our greatest invitation to finally grow up as a species, to match our incredible cleverness with a newfound wisdom, and to consciously choose the kind of future we actually want, instead of just stumbling into one that we don't. Because that choice, for now at least, is still ours to make.
If this opened your eyes, imagine what else is hiding in your mind. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly episodes that decode your brain, one pattern at a time. And if something clicked today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay curious.